Hello nerds! Thank you for watching Generally Nerdy. This is your week in Nerdom TV news for the week of January 29th. This week on TV, we're talking XFiles, we're talking Supernatural, and Muppet Babies. Stick around, we're gonna get to all of that and more.
Quiet on the set, rolling.
Hi, I am Bitsy Telek.
Hey, I'm Hale Appleman.
I'm Walter Kane.
I'm Rene Aubergenois. Odo on Deep Space Nine.
Michael Dorn, Lieutenant Commander Worf, Star Trek The Next Generation.
Come and see me and hear me and talk to me and listen to me talk about myself.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, often considered generally nerdy, and you are listening to what is often considered generally nerdy.
On Generally Nerdy.
You're listening to
Generally Nerdy.
Generally Nerdy.
Generally nerdy.
First on the list, we are talking X-Files. Last week's episode was The Lost Art of Forehead Sweat, and I called it, although it wasn't that difficult to call. It was definitely one of this season's goofy episodes. Talking about the Mandela effect, and I'm almost certain Mulder was right with the name of that. I didn't look that up just because I've heard it called the Mandela effect before, but then I could be wrong. I heard actually because of the Shazam genie thing with Sinbad that he references in the episode. If you missed it, definitely figure out a way to see it. I'm sure it's on Hulu. I know it's not on Netflix, but I'm pretty sure Fox still has a thing with Hulu, so I bet it's on Hulu, or find other means to watch it. If somebody you know DVR'd it, whatever, then definitely go watch it because it was worth it. Next week's episode, we're getting back into the mythology. It's called Ghoulie. Link in the description to the trailer for it. They just released it. It has something to do with Scully's son William. Has something to do with potentially Scully dying or getting shot at least. We've seen some set clips of her in the hospital and bloody, and there's a gunshot and things happen. So again, link in the description because that is always awesome. And next we're moving over to Supernatural. Supernatural, I believe we've talked about this one before, but it's back because it's actually happening just a couple episodes down the road. The Scooby-Doo crossover episode, we're gonna see Sam and Dean Winchester hook up with the Mystery Crew, and it's going to be animated. And I thought when it was originally announced that it was happening, I thought it was going to be a Scooby-Doo episode that featured them, like Scooby-Doo used to do back in the day. They had like Batman on and all that kinds of stuff. But no, it's not a Scooby-Doo episode. It is properly a Supernatural episode. It's the name of the episode is Scooby-Natural. It's going to be episode 16 of the current season, so season 13. And 10 was last week's episode, next week's is 11, or rather, last week's episode was 11, next week's episode was 12. 10 is the episode that was the Wayward Sisters. Anyway, if you have not been keeping up on your Supernatural, I don't think if you wanted to catch this episode and you're behind, that this is going to have any sort of major play in the overarching story, so feel free. But if something spoils that you didn't know, then my bad, I'm sorry. Either way, it looks like it's going to be a great one-off episode. Definitely going to be a Monster of the Week style episode, but it's Scooby-Doo and Supernatural. How can you go wrong? But we are going to keep on rolling. Next is Charmed. I don't know what to make of this. Apparently, the CW greenlit not one, but now 2 pilot episodes for a reboot of the series. They are rebooting Charmed. Like the strange bastard child of both Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Buffy all in one. And it was, I mean, I guess it was better than Sabrina, but it was nowhere close to as good as Buffy. But does it really need to be rebooted? Are we really out of ideas for our television shows? I guess everything effectively anymore that's worth watching is kind of a reboot in some ways, because most of the stuff that we watch has to do with comic books that have existed for 70 years or more. So yeah, I guess the first episode, their first pilot that they greenlit that they didn't pick up, but they did greenlight another pilot. The first one was not set in present day. It was set in the past somehow. I missed all of this because I wasn't paying attention, because I figured it would get shot down and that would be the end of it. But it got shut down, but they said, try again. And this time make it present day. So the new pilot's going to be a present day group. I just don't know. I'm passing this off to you guys. Was Charmed really popular enough or good enough to warrant a reboot? Please educate me in those comments down low. Next, though, we are to the other bit that we teased in the intro, and that's the Muppet Babies. I grew up watching the Muppet Babies. It was a series in the 80s. It was animated. It was hand-drawn animation. It was amazing. It was educational. Like, I learned stuff in the Muppet Babies that I still apply in my life today. Like, if I'm having trouble sleeping, I take Beaker's advice and slow my breathing down to, I don't remember the exact count, but slow my breathing down way slow and count backwards, and just, like, I learned that from the Muppet Babies. So I'm really stoked that they're rebooting this series. This is one that definitely should have never even been taken off, except for maybe a few seasons to update the animation style or whatever. This is going to be an updated animation style. It's going to be completely 3D animated. All of your favorite Muppet Babies are back, except, what was her name? Skeeter. Skeeter is not coming back. Skeeter is going to be replaced with a penguin character named Summer Penguin. So it kind of, like, I understand adding another female character, especially in today's climate of social equality and whatnot, but adding a new female character to replace another female character, and on top of that, adding a new female character that is more stereotypically female to replace a female character that is not so stereotypically female. Skeeter was effectively supposed to be the counterbalance for Miss Piggy, because Skeeter was a lot more tomboyish and a lot more relaxed and less crazy, but now it seems that Summer, I'm sorry, I just had a brain fart. Now it seems that Summer is going to be, she's going to be very girly, and she's going to like dancing and art, so she's a little more of an updated stereotype, but she's still a stereotype. I feel like you didn't have to get rid of one character in order to bring the other character in. Please, let's talk about this one in the comments too, because I love the Muppet Babies. I love that show. I think it's great. They're bringing it back the same format. It's going to be two 11-minute shorts that are going to be educational, and the Muppet Babies are going to go on adventures, and there's going to be all kinds of hijinks. Like, this is legit geared towards kids, and I'm probably going to download all the episodes because I love the Muppet Babies. I love the Muppets just as a general statement. I feel like Jim Henson and Frank Oz and everyone else associated with the Muppets can really do no wrong. Really, if you watch any of those old movies, as no matter how bad they might be, as through your adult eyes, looking at, being critical of the cinematography or the writing or the direction or the acting, if you look at all that, most of that stuff's not the best, but there's still something about it that is just majestic and amazing. And I really think they're going to translate that into this reboot for the Muppet Babies. But our final bit of news this week is going to be about Kevin Smith. Now, Kevin Smith does a lot of things, and he could theoretically have his own section in the Week in Nerdom. I could do a whole video every week, probably, about the things that Kevin Smith is doing. He's like the James Brown of Nerdom. I'm not even joking. He's got the Jay and Silent Bob reboot movie. He's got about 6 podcasts. I think he might have cut back to 4, but still, it's a lot of freaking podcasts. He's a producer and sometimes appears on Comic Book Men. He has at least 2 movie projects that are somewhere in the works. One of them being Moose Jaws, and one of them being Kilroy Was Here. Jay and Silent Bob, he's shopping around to other studios. He directs random episodes of Flash, Arrow, Supergirl. Probably gonna start doing Black Lightning. Just So much stuff is going on with Kevin Smith, and now he's just adding to the pile. So, Kevin Smith, where did it go? It just sent out a picture on Instagram that has him in a hockey jersey, surprise, wearing, it's instead of it having his logo or some random nerdy thing, it has the History Channel logo on it. And he's working now on a mystery project for the History Channel. I conjecture that he's going to be doing something on comic books, because he does have, I mean, he wrote for Green Arrow for what, 15 years, and he wrote for Daredevil, and he's worked on both sides, Marvel and DC. He's interviewed and met all of the big names and is kind of probably friends with some of them, I would imagine. So it makes a whole lot of sense that they would do this, but it hasn't been announced what this project is. So we're going to keep our eyes open, definitely keep listening to Fat Man on Batman and all of the other things that the majesty of Kevin Smith does. And insert card right here when I got to interview the man himself. So that is where we're going to end this week's TV episode. What did I miss? What should we talk about next week, guys? Definitely let me know in the comments below. And if you want to go deeper into the conversation, jump over to the website, generallynerdy.net. That's where you can find all kinds of social media links, and all the other freebies are on the website. But if you want to help, if you want to donate, if you want to be a part of this conversation even more, then jump over to patreon.com/generallynerdy, and that's where you can jump on for just $1 a month, and you get early access. And beyond that, if you want to help, then I'll give you more things. If you are new to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. If you like this video and you like the videos that I'm trying to do here, then hit that like button. Above my head right now is also a subscribe button. It's the Nerdy Ninja logo. If you're running behind on your nerd news and you want to catch up, click or tap right there to the left of my face to do that. But before you go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.